Good day, ladies and gents. I hope you're all doing well in this cold weather. I'm back again today. So today I'll be shooting a topic about genetics and inheritance. This is a life science topic, obviously, grade 12. So without wasting time, let me start with the video. So as all of you can see that the topic is genetics and inheritance. It means that we are going to focus in a topic or in a science known as genetics. So genetics is a science. It means that you have to understand several terminologies that are used in this topic or that are used by geneticists. So first of all, we have to know what is genetics. So genetics, it is the study of heredity and variation. So it is the study of heredity and variation. So we're going to focus on heredity and variation. So first of all, heredity, we're talking about the transmission of characteristics from parents to offsprings, and we call that heredity. For example, sometimes you guys hear people talking about heredity or inheritance of maybe money from parents. Maybe let's say your parents they've been saving money for you when you are still young, and then when they passed away and then you inherit that money, it means that that money is passed to you as their offspring. So that is heredity. But here now we are going to talk about heredity of genes. In the previous topic, when we were busy studying meiosis, we talked about genes that are found in the DNA. So now we're going to check how those genes are able to pass to the offsprings. That's why we call it heredity. And then variation, we're talking about differences. The differences that are found in among people. So we're going to talk about those variations. What is it that is responsible for that variation? For example, in meiosis, we talked about the crossing over that happens during prophase 1, whereby the non-sister chromatids intertwine at a point called chiasma, and then they exchange the genetic material. And then when they do that, they mix the genes and then resulting in a variation of the gametes that are formed. Yes, but then I'm not there. I'm here in this topic, genetics. So like I've said, genetics is a science. So since this thing is a science, it's very important to know the terminologies that are used in this topic. So first of all, we're going to talk about a gene. We're going to know what is a gene. So a gene, it is a portion or a segment of a DNA that is found in a chromosome. It means that it is a small section or a small segment of a DNA that is found in a chromosome. So you did chromosomes in the previous topic, whereby you were studying the structure of a chromosome having this chromatid joined together by this centromere. So in this chromosome, each and every chromatid, this structure is our chromatid. It is made up of different segments or different portions, small portions. Those portions are called the genes. So this chromosome can have the genes here. It can also have another gene here, another gene, and then also another gene here. All of these chromatids, they have their different genes. So we can also have a gene here, a gene here, a gene here. So the genes, they contain an information, or they carry an important DNA segment that is going to code for a particular characteristic. Maybe the characteristic can be hair color, height, it can be even your skin color. Maybe this gene can code for hair color, this one can code for the skin color, and then this other gene can code for another characteristic, maybe your height. So these portions, we call them the genes. So each and every gene has its own position in a chromosome, a fixed position or an important position that is going to occupied by that particular gene. Okay, so now the position of a gene in a chromosome, we call it a locus. So this position where we found the genes, we call it a locus. So I said that it's a portion or a segment of DNA found in a chromosome. And then now we're going to talk about a locus. So when I said that a locus, it is the position of a gene in a chromosome. So these positions that are occupied by different genes, we call them the loci. So the plural for locus, it is a loci. We call it the loci. So loci is a plural for locus. So different positions, we call them loci, or when it is singular or it is we call it a locus when it exists as a singular position. Okay, moving forward, there's another terminology that we have to know that is known as an allele. We want to know what is allele. So an allele, it is an alternative form of gene that is found at the same locus, meaning it is found at the same position or at the same locus in homologous chromosomes. So we have to know what are homologous chromosomes. In meiosis, we talked about homologous chromosomes, that the homologous chromosomes are the chromosomes that are equal in size, and then they are the same in structure, and then also they code for the same characteristic. Or maybe we can say they function to form the same characteristic. Let's say, for example, we have these two chromosomes. We have this one chromosome, and then we have another chromosome here. So these two chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. So they are known as homologous chromosomes. Why? Because of they have to be equal in size. They are equal in size. They are the same in structure. Their centromere position is equal, or is in the same position. And then also they code for the same characteristic. Maybe let's say this homologous chromosome, they can code maybe for your hair color, they can code for your skin color, and then for your height. Since when they code for the same characteristics, we call them the homologous chromosomes. So we can see that they are different in color. I hope my colors are able to appear. So you can see this one, the black one, this homologous chromosome. It can maybe come from the father, and then this one comes from the mother. So you call it a maternal chromosome, and then this one is a paternal chromosome. I mean, this one from the father is a paternal chromosome, this one from the mother is a maternal chromosome. So your mother donated this one, your father donated this one, and then this one was donated by your father, and then they are going to code for the same characteristic. So now we were here in this thing called an allele. And then I said that allele, it is an alternative type of gene that is found in the same locus, in the homologous chromosomes. It means that an allele, it has to be found in the same, let's say we have this gene here, this allele, ne? It's an allele because of it's found here. And then also it must be found in this right chromatid. You can see that it's found in the right chromatid of this chromosome, and then also in this right side of this homologous chromosome in the chromatid. So since it is found in the same position or the same locus, then that's why we call it an allele. That's why it is called an allele, because of it's found in the same position or the same locus in homologous chromosomes. So I said it's an alternative type of gene found in the same locus in homologous chromosomes. So it's found in the same locus in homologous chromosomes. So now I'm going to another terminology. You have to know what is homozygous. So as you can see that we have the word homo, and then homo means the same. Homo means the same, and then zygous means zygote. So homozygous, it is a condition whereby an organism have the same alleles that code for the same characteristic. So having the same alleles that can code for the same characteristic. So it means that these alleles, they must be the same. The other one must not be dominant and the other one recessive. All of them must be dominant so that they can be a pure breed, or they must be recessive. We are going to talk about recessive and dominant alleles as we move forward. So homozygous is having the same alleles that code for a particular characteristic. And then moving forward, now we have to talk about heterozygous. Heterozygous. So hetero means different, and then zygous, zygote. So it means that it is having, how in this one it is the opposite of homozygous. So heterozygous, it is having different alleles. Characteristic. So it means that it's all about having different alleles for a characteristic. And then now, another terminology, we have to know what is dominant allele. So a dominant allele, it is a type of allele that is going to be expressed physically when it is in a homozygous or a heterozygous condition. So allele expressed in the phenotype, whether in a heterozygous or homozygous condition. It is a dominant allele. I'm going to do examples about the crosses in this topic, so you'll see when you talk about dominant alleles, how are we able to represent them using different alphabets. So don't worry about that now. And then number 7, we're going to talk about a recessive allele. So recessive allele is a type of allele that is only able to be expressed when it is in homozygous condition only. And you will see that why this one is expressed in a homozygous condition only. So this one, the type of allele expressed physically when it is present in homozygous condition only. Okay, and then another terminology that we have to know, it is genotype. So we want to know what is a genotype. So genotype, you can see that it has geno here. It means that it was derived from gene. It was derived here from a gene. So it means that a genotype, it is the genetic makeup of what we see when we look at your genes using a microscope or using a scan. And when you check your DNA, because in your DNA we have genes. So when you look at your genes, that means that you are looking at your genotype. That's why it is called the genetic makeup. Genetic makeup of an organism. What is a genotype? It means that genotype cannot be seen with a naked eye. We have to use a scan, or we have to use a microscope. A microscope to see your genotype. So it means that when I look at you physically, I cannot see your genes because of they are inside your cells, inside the DNA in your cells. Okay. So now we're going to talk about what you see physically when you look at a person. When I see yourself from outside, I'm looking at your phenotype. Looking at your phenotype. So phenotype is the physical appearance or the physical makeup, the physical appearance of an organism or a human being or whatever organism it can be. So phenotype is the physical appearance. It means that when you're looking at your friend, your mom, your dad, or any other organism, it can be an animal. When you look at it, that means that you are looking at its phenotype. I hope you understand so far. So it is very important for you to understand these terminologies before you can be able to know how to do the genetic crosses, because of that's where real work starts. And then another terminology we have to know, maybe I can put it here, number 10. You have to know what is a multiple allele. You have to know what is a multiple allele. So multiple allele, you can see multiple, it means that this thing are many, there are more than 2. So multiple allele, it is having more than one allele for a characteristic. So it means that it's all about having more than one allele for a characteristic. It means that it's not about having only one one allele that is going to code for a characteristic. That is going to code, for example, that is going to code for your height, that is going to code for your voice, that is going to code for the size of your feet. So it means that no, it's not about that. It's about having more than allele. It means that having more than one allele that is going to help other alleles for the characteristic. So you will see when you talk about blood groups. So the blood groups are influenced by more than one allele, meaning they are influenced by multiple alleles. So these multiple alleles that we're going to focus in blood groups, you will see that we have three of them. So these 3 alleles, they are able to give us different types of blood groups, because we have 4 blood groups, but then they are influenced by only 3 alleles. And we're going to focus on them as we go forward with this topic. So these are the multiple alleles. And then after that, we're going to do different crosses, genetic crosses. We're going to talk about a monohybrid cross, and also going to talk about a dihybrid cross. So maybe I can include their terminologies here. So we're going to focus in a monohybrid cross. So as you can see here, mono in biology means 1. So it means that in this type of cross, we are going to focus in only one characteristic. So in this type of cross, monohybrid cross, only one characteristic is considered in the cross. Maybe we can focus maybe only in the colors. Maybe let's say we cross 2 plants or 2 flowers, and then maybe the other one is red, the other one is white. So you can see that we are only focusing in one characteristic, which is color. Color, maybe black, maybe red or white. So it means that this cross is going to focus only in that characteristic. So this one is a type of cross between 2 organisms, whereby only one characteristic is considered. So it means that we're only considering one characteristic in this cross, the monohybrid cross. And then we have the last one called the dihybrid cross. So the dihybrid cross is going to be number 12. So we have a dihybrid. Dihybrid cross. So as you can see there, it has the prefix di. So and then di means 1. Means 2. Di means 2. So it means that here we're going to focus in 2 characteristics. In this type of cross, we're going to focus in 2 characteristics. Here in the monohybrid cross, we are focusing only in one characteristic. Here we're going to focus in two characteristics. For example, let's say now here, the two plants that I've used as examples. Now again, we're focusing on color. So now we can focus in color and then the height. Let's say we are crossing a plant that is white in color and then it's also tall with a plant with a red color and then it is short. So you can see now that we are focusing into characteristics. We're focusing in the color and also the height. So that means that it's going to fall under the hybrid cross because of two characteristics are considered: the height and then also the color of that particular flower. So that's why it is known as the hybrid cross. So a type of cross whereby two characteristics are considered. Yes. So these are few words or few terms that you have to understand before you can be able to do the different crosses in the topic of genetics. Yeah. So you have to know all of these these terminologies, because of this thing it's a science. You have to know the scientific terms before you can be able to do different problems involving crosses. Because of now that's where you're going to need more focus when you do the crosses, because you cannot afford to do a mistake when you cross different organisms together to see the possible offsprings that can be produced there. So in the upcoming video, we're going to focus in different crosses. Now we're going to focus in the inheritance of sex, how a person is able to become a male or a female. We're going to focus in blood groups. How were you able to acquire your blood group or your blood type from your parents? We're going to focus maybe again in the dihybrid cross, but then maybe the foundation of the dihybrid cross, because of in your level in grade 12, you're not required to know the whole of the dihybrid cross. The course is because of it's quite a huge content for you in your level. And then we're also going to focus in the disorders that are able to result from the errors that are going to happen during the combination of different gametes that form different offsprings. The sex-linked disorders and other stuff in this topic. And then other things that I'm not remembering now, I'm going to include them in the upcoming video. So for now, it was only an introduction of this topic of genetics. I hope you understood. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.